Hi, I'm Renee Jensen, and I'm the owner of 1111 Reiki and Intuitive Healing. 1111. That's pretty cool, powerful, manifesting number, right? There's a fun story behind why I named my practice 1111. My birthday happens to be on 1111, but it's been a really powerful number for me. And I know many of you can probably relate to that number because you probably see it sometimes. You see 1111 or 111 on your clock, and that's a sign. That is a message. And I am all about signs and messages, and that's what I bring to my client sessions. When you walk through the door, you may be carrying a load of something that's really heavy, right? By the time you've gotten to me and you've started looking around for Reiki or intuitive healers or mediums or card readers, it's because you're dealing with something that you just want to go away. You just want it to go away. And whatever dis-ease that it's causing you, whether it's mental, physical, emotional, you just don't want to deal with it anymore, and you don't want to carry it around, and you don't know how to get rid of it. So there's all sorts of different components of wellness. Reiki healing is one component. I believe in traditional psychotherapy. I believe that if we all had gobs and gobs of money, we could have a therapist, a traditional therapist, we could have a spiritual therapist or energy therapist or healer, and have somebody to cook our meals, and we could have a coach for the gym. We'd be in total perfect health, right? That's sort of a pipe dream. I wish I could do that. I don't know how many of you would love to be able to do that, or if you are actually capable of, but it would be wonderful. So a lot of times we get stuck trying to actually choose whether we're going to go to a regular psychotherapist, or if we're going to go to an intuitive healer, or if we feel like a health coach is going to help us feel better. We have to make those choices. And if something is calling you to try intuitive healing, that's why you're here right now, and that's why you're watching this video. So you could Google Reiki healers and mediums and card readers, and you're going to get a whole long list of people. You were called, you feel a calling, it's your intuition is telling you to try intuitive healing. But not knowing much about it and knowing that it's a very abstract concept, you want to be able to go to the right person. It's no different than hiring a coach or a therapist of any other type. You want to go with somebody that knows their stuff, that you can relate to, that you can feel comfortable with, because not one size fits all. So why come to me? Why call me? Well, first of all, know that this can be a very kind of scary thing to dive into, because again, there's so much unknown and it requires just a lot of faith. And it's not cheap, right? So you want to make sure that you're investing your money and your wellness in the right place. So first of all, I like to talk to my prospective clients first. So if you have any questions about Reiki or the process in which I work with my clients, I offer discovery sessions over the phone or even in person. And we can talk for 30 minutes and we can bang out whatever it is, whatever it is that's ailing you. And we can talk about what Reiki is, how my practice works, and how it can actually help you. And we can talk about a solution that will fit right for you. Because again, not one size always fits all. So I offer that to any of you who are watching right now. Please, if you really want to pick up the phone and you just want to get some information and have an honest, open conversation with no judgment, just do it. It's not going to cost you anything. And if we sit and chit chat and you think this is a great fit, then wonderful. And if you think this lady's crazy, she doesn't know what she's talking about, you know what? No harm. I won't take offense. And then hopefully you can find somebody else that will fit you better on your journey. But why should you come and talk to me? So if you've checked out my website at all, I've gone through so much in my whole entire life, and it's been really many years and a process for me to get to this place that I am right now. Never in a million years, and I have to be honest and totally authentic about this, not in a million years did I ever think that I was going to be a Reiki and intuitive healer. I can trace back for many, many years in my intuition, in my mindset, all of these woo-woo sort of intuitive, psychic sort of feelings and gifts I had since I was a kid. But the external world and the energy and expectations from society and parents kind of just dimmed that all out. And I went through a lot of trauma and a lot of sad things, loss in my life since I was a child to an adult. And I hit a place in my life where whatever I was carrying around, it was greatly, greatly impacting my health. It was greatly impacting my relationships with the people that I loved. It was really putting a stop to my journey. Wherever I was on my path, I was not following my path. And so I had to find it within myself to figure out why and how I could heal that. And that's how this happened and how I ended up in this place right now, because I felt a calling to try something that was more holistic, and I listened to myself. And so that's when I started working with intuitive healers of all sorts. And it was really inspirational for me, and it really got me to tune in to myself, not to pay attention so much to what was going on the outside of my world, to quiet down and really sort of process the chatter that was going on in my brain on a regular basis that was kind of making me a little wacky. But I can definitely say that all the things that I ever went through in my life, there was a source to it all. Whatever dis-ease I was feeling physically, mentally, emotionally, it all came from somewhere. So when you come in to see me, we sit down and we talk about that. You may go to card readers, you may go to other intuitive healers. They may come in and talk to you for a little bit, put you on the table, do their energy balancing, whatever it is that they're doing their card readings. And then you might get a little bit of insight, and you might have a little bit of an aha moment. And then when you're finished with your session, you'll leave, and hopefully the next day you'll remember. But a lot of times it'll just kind of, it'll sort of go out of your mind, and you'll sort of get back into the same kind of routines and schedule and habits and cycles. And those aha moments sometimes can be taken over by whatever's going on in your life. So when I was creating this practice, when I was creating my process and how I work with my clients, I wanted to be very, very mindful about the experience. So what's the experience? If you're expecting to come into my office and know your future, and I'm going to tell you everything that's going to happen to you in the next 6 months to a year, and if you're going to meet the guy of your dreams, or if you're going to land that awesome job, I might not be the person for you. I'm very intuitive. I definitely have psychic abilities, but they don't work that way, because in my own journey and on my own path, the one thing that I learned is that there is never one quick fix for anything. Part of what I believe, and in my experience, is that we are supposed to learn on this path. And many of us have gone off the path, and we're all over here on the side, and we're like climbing hills, and there's jags, and there's jagged areas, and we just feel like we're constantly battling and constantly dodging things. But at the end of the day, as far as our path and who we really are at the core, right, we may go off this way, but the whole purpose when you come in to see me is to get back onto that path, straight to your goal, even if you don't know what it is, and feel better about it. If we all could pay someone just to tell us what to do and tell us what the future was, well, I'll tell you, there'd be a lot of psychics out there. There'd be a lot of mediums. They'd all be super loaded, but that's not the plan. The plan is to not be paying everybody else to tell you what to do with your life. The goal is to grab onto your own life, get your energy centered, and be able to tune into yourself. So when you're not feeling good, or you know that your energy is off, having the tools to know what to do to make you feel better. Okay? So that's what the experience is when you come in to see me. Now, I can definitely tell you, if you come in and see me, I do not look you up on Google. I do not look you up on Facebook. You come in totally cold without me knowing a thing about you. And what I do is, when you come into my office, I will put you on my table, my Reiki table, and then I will use this tool, which is called a pendulum, and this pendulum can sense energy. So we will go over your chakras with this pendulum, and I'll show you it works. I'm not moving my hand at all. It will tell us if what chakras are spinning correctly and what chakras are not. and I can explain all of that to you over the phone, or you can come in and see it for yourself. So that's the first thing you do. When you come in, we sit down, we talk about what may be ailing you. You may not want to give me a lot of information because you want to see if I can figure it out on my own. However it is that you come in, I'm open to, and I trust you. By the end of the session, I will know everything about you. No, I'm just kidding. But that's what happens. You come in, we talk, you share what you want to share. We figure out where your chakras are not balanced. And then for my first time clients, and like I said, I don't know if I said this earlier, but I do have separate services for card reading and for chakra readings and for Reiki. But if you are a new client, I want your first experience to be a good one. I want you to come in here with whatever weight you're carrying, and I want you to gain insight and clarity, and I want you to feel and hear the messages, get your energy balance through the Reiki session, and walk out of here feeling so much lighter and armed with information that can help you live your life easier. So when you first come into me for a first session, I actually include the chakra card reading and a card reading. You can come to me with any sort of issue you might be having that you need some guidance on, and I use different types of cards. So when you come in and we figure out which chakras are off, what I do is I have what's called a crystal healing deck. I have a crystal healing deck. I have an angel deck. I have a tarot deck that I use for chakras. And I have also a chakra healing deck. And now what do I do with these? I'm going to tell you exactly what I do with these because I do it for myself every single morning. So I know exactly where my chakras are off when I get up in the morning and where I might be feeling a little weird and wonky and off, and I might wake up on the wrong side of the bed and be crabby. I figure out where my chakras are off, and then what I do is I intuitively choose one card. I set an intention of wanting to know what the message is for me today, and I intuitively pick a card, and then I read the message. And I will do that for you in your first session with me. So the really cool thing is this is not normally part of regular Reiki training, but when I started practicing, I knew that people really wanted an experience, and they didn't just want to go in, spend their money, and get their energy healing. People want to come in and they need a more concrete sort of tangible solution. So I really wanted to give that to my clients. So that's why I came up with the card reading, because every time a client comes in, whether you're a new client or you're a returning client, and we use the cards in the process, the cards, when I intuitively set the intention for that client, the cards that we pull are always in line with what chakras are off and what it is that you are going through in that specific moment. And the cards are amazing because they always have positive affirmations and messages for my clients. And that's why I use them. There's nothing weird about them. They're not creepy. I'm not the type of card reader. I don't take the cards and I don't shuffle them and then lay them all out and then tell you your future. That is not how I work. We use the cards as a guide and a message. So by the time we go through all the cards and we talk about it, and we unpack whatever it is that might be contributing to your dis-ease, your physical, mental, emotional. By the time you've gotten on the Reiki table, and I'll have you on the Reiki table for anywhere between 30 minutes, 45 minutes, an hour, depending on what you're going through, and depending on what kind of service it is. By the time you walk out of here, you're going to have a map. You're going to have a guide. You're going to have your energy centers cleared out and relaxed, and you're going to walk out of here feeling better, lighter, and having more insight. The other thing that I do as a separate service, but for first-time clients, I also read tarot cards. I love tarot cards, and I'm going to tell you something. Some people think that tarot cards are really creepy and scary, and to be honest with you, I went to a card reader years ago, and she told me that she did not deal with tarot cards at all because she thought that they had dark energy. And something in my intuition told me a couple of years ago, they're not. It's all the energy behind the actual person who is reading the cards. So I said, why not? I'll get some tarot cards. And I got one set for my chakra stuff, and I have my other set to answer questions. But I have this great mini tarot deck, and I pulled cards for myself today about a specific career question that I had, and I will show you really quick. I pulled these cards, and this card at the top is in regards to the specific situation, and then sort of the guide for me when asking what I should do about if this idea that I have is a good idea or not. And then these down here are all the contributing factors. Reading tarot in my own life has been so helpful. When you come in here, you do not have to be frightened that anything bad is going to come out of your session. Reiki is safe, no bad energy, no bad spirit juju, none of that will happen when you're in a Reiki session. Reiki is all about light and love energy. It's about channeling life force energy to get you back in balance and on your path. Tarot cards, again, it's all about the energy behind the cards and the energy behind the reader. I will never share anything scary or predict anything terrible about what's going to happen with your life. Most of the time when people walk through my door, it's because they have something going on, and their own intuition and their own gut, they already know sort of the issues behind why they're coming in. But to come in here is to unpack it all and to find out the source and where it's coming from so you can do something about it and find a solution. So these other tools that I use, the cards, the crystals, the Reiki, using it all together, it just confirms what a lot of times clients, what you will know about how you feel when you walk in here. But it will just give you a much more clear guide that comes from something that we cannot see. It'll just give you a much more clear guide as to where you need to be traveling on your path, so you can relieve some of that stress. So I hope that gave you a quick 15 minutes rundown of how it is that I work in my practice. I like to tell everybody, I tell everybody all the time that I don't have this standard traditional Reiki practice. My process in actually balancing out your chakras, it's all according to my certifications and my attunement to Usui Reiki. So that's all very traditional. But as far as the experience that I wanted for my clients and how I wanted to help them from the time that they walked in my door and to the time they walked out, I created this amazing process that works. It has gotten results, and I love to watch my clients grow. So you'll come in here, we'll do this, and then we'll talk about ways that you can balance your own chakras and coping mechanisms and things to deal with the ailments that you are feeling. So real quick, let's go through a quick tour of my office, and then I will let you guys go. And thanks for being here. So I'm going to turn you around, and don't mind that we have a very cozy office here. So if you ever want to just stop in and we don't have clients and sit in this wonderful energy, you can. I'm very excited to announce too that I think soon I will be actually taking clients in New York City. If you are near the city or work in the city and you are interested, I think I'll be booking soon about 16 hours a month from a wellness space in New York City. Very excited about that, and I will give you more details when I have them. So this is our healing space. Out there is more of our lounge area and where we can sit and talk. And then this is our healing space. It's our table. We have a chair, very inviting, very warm. The energy is amazing in here, guys. And I'm just gonna I will pull the curtain, let's give you the full effect. And when you come in here, you take your shoes off, we have blankets, we lay out the towels, we keep everything nice and clean and sanitary. And we put on meditation music, and you'll lay here for about 30 to 45 minutes while you get your Reiki treatment. And when I'm finished with your Reiki treatment, then we'll come back out here again and we'll sit and we'll talk about it and talk about the things that you felt, the things that you've seen, the things that I might have felt or seen during your session. And then we'll talk about that for a few minutes and then send you on your way, hopefully feeling refreshed and feeling like you got some answers about the things that you're going through. So hopefully you can feel better. Please call me if you have any questions. Again, I do discovery sessions, no cost, complimentary. Just go back to the website. My number is 201-774-6551. I am accessible by email, by text, by phone. You can get a hold of me anytime. Thank you so much for being here with me, and I'll talk to you soon. Thanks. Bye.